Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Tyler Talks Travel Trailers here at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we are about to tour a 2026 Surveyor 19MDBLE. This is a great family travel trailer. If you notice, I do a lot of Nobos and Surveyors. They're very similar, like the styles that they use on the inside, some of the color schemes, things like that. That's because they literally come out of the same plant. There's a couple other brands that fall into that same plant as well. Basically, what I like about our dealership is we try not to make it too confusing when you're purchasing. So No Boundaries is going to have a lot of the same options, but really what you're getting is that beast mode suspension. You get like the inverter, whereas this, it's kind of dialed down a little bit. Like if you're not trying to go super crazy off-road, you don't need that beast mode suspension, but you're still going to get the same quality of construction. You're still going to get 6-side aluminum framing. You're still going to get the Asdel outer walls. So as a whole, this is an awesome trailer if you're not trying to drag your trailer up the side of a mountain. So like always, we're going to be doing the specs first. It takes me 1 minute to do those specs, and then we'll dive inside. Let's go, guys. So the basic specs on this 2026 Surveyor 19MDBLE. Your unloaded vehicle weight is 4,100 pounds. Your cargo carrying capacity is 1,598 pounds, which brings your potential fully loaded weight to 5,698 pounds. Your hitch weight is 498 pounds. Your exterior length is 23 feet 7 inches. Your exterior height is 10 feet 9 inches. Your exterior width is 7 feet 4 inches. Your tanks, your fresh water tank is 30 gallons. Your gray water tank is 30 gallons. And your black tank is 30 gallons. Your awning size is 15 feet. Let's jump inside. All right, everybody, now that we got those specs done, we will start on the inside like usual and work our way out. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I do a lot of measurements. I talk about options, features, construction. So hopefully I will be able to answer all your questions by the end of this video. What did I tell you? The interior of Surveyor and Nobo just look fantastic. I always say they're probably the best. Color schemes and styles, it's very like feng shui. But as you notice, this trailer is super lightweight with a decent sized slide out. One thing that I love about this layout is to the right of me, this is going to be 23 feet 7 inches, and I always say it, if you're going to be getting a travel trailer 25 and under, especially with bunks, you got to go with the Murphy bed, because look at all this floor space that you are going to get. And then if it's raining or the weather gets bad, it's not going to be very fun when you have 4 kids, 2 adults, and you all have to pile into this one dinette. So having the Murphy bed is a huge plus. I will show you how simple it is to put it down. Let me put you on this side real quick. There we go. So there's a lot of Murphy bed options out there, especially with this length. But all you got to do is lift this up. Let's say the weather's bad, it's raining, you guys need to all come inside. Do you really want them to sit on your bed? But we're going to put it down first. So all you do is lift this, bam, bring that down. And then you have this little latch that you bring down, and look at how simple that was. Super easy. One thing I like to point out with this particular mattress is it's going to be 60 by 80. So the benefit of that, if you're new to the channel, a lot of times they'll do RV Queens. RV Queens will be 60 by 74. The reason I'm mentioning that is because I always say it, RV mattresses kind of suck. It doesn't matter what brand you go with, they're just not the most comfortable. So it being 60 by 80, you can go get yourself a nice topper and it will fit. It's not going to be hanging off the side or just like won't fit in here in this area. So it is a true 60 by 80 queen size bed. And then, of course, you got the nice big front windshield. Do not be too scared about that front window because they do make aftermarket covers for them. And it looks like Surveyor made it a lot bigger. That's going to be a 24 by 47 window. That is nice. So hopefully your view is going to be a little better than that. But definitely get a window if you can on the front because it lets in a lot of natural light. And it also just looks cool. So put that down. And then once you're ready, like I was saying, let's say the weather's really bad out, the kids and everyone needs to come inside, get out of the elements. All you got to do is this, what I did before. But how annoying would it be, you know, everyone comes in and they have to sit on the bed. I wouldn't like that. but I did want to point this out. You can still have it down and get through the doorway nice and easy. But like I said, if the weather's bad, come over here, plop this up, and you have extra seating. Eh? Pretty nice, pretty nice. That couch right there is a decent size. You got storage underneath that I will show you. The length of this couch is going to be 4 feet 9 inches or 57 inches. So nice comfortable size to get 2 people on there hanging out. And if you noticed, you do have basically two end tables, and you also have the nice little cup holders for your cold snacks. These little end tables are going to be 14 by 31 on both sides. And then if you noticed as well, there is equal plugs on both sides. I love that they do that. So you got your standard plug, and you got your USB and USB-C. So see, those ones on the right will actually run off the battery. So if you just need to charge your phone real quick, those will come in handy. Down below, you do have some drawers. Not super deep, but these 2 drawers are going to be 16 by 21 and 5.5. So both of those, 16 by 21 and 5.5 deep for those 2 drawers. You can lift the couch as well and access those drawers if you had to. Not really sure why. And then you do have like a little cubby on this side, but not the other side. I did not measure that one. That one's kind of difficult to get to. You could take these off if you wanted to, but that's a nice place to maybe put some tools that you need to grab whenever you stop off. Over here to the left is your slide out. 36.5 inches deep, pretty deep slide, enough to give you enough floor space in here. This is a 4-seater dinette, but it will turn into a bed as well. So if you want to get around the table, play some board games, that table is going to be, let's see, 27 by 42 for this table right here. 27 by 42. And then also, like I said, it does turn into a bed. So all you have to do is take the poles out, bring the table down to these little tabs, and then throw each cushion on top of that. So the size of that, you're looking at 41 by 72. So you got about 6 feet of length. So you could definitely sleep an adult, 2 children. You know, if you bring an extra child along, they want to bring their friends, you could accommodate them with that sleeping arrangement, 41 by 72, which is 6 feet in length. Got some great windows right here on both the slides, so you can open those, get a nice cross breeze going through here, as well as this massive one. Look at how big this window is. Huge! Hopefully the view is better, like I said, but this window is massive. 27 by 58 is going to be that window that you get a look out, see the view. I will say though, that one does not open, just the 2 side ones, but I personally would rather have, a bigger window that doesn't open than have a small window that does, because this AC gets cold. I'm cold in here, I'll show you, but it's probably because the weather's pretty nice out today. It's not scorching hot. Bring that back down. You got your nice roller shade right there with your valances. I even love how they frame out the windows. Like, they don't cut corners. They make everything look nice. See this? Whereas most companies, they don't do that. They don't need to. Imagine how much money they would save if they didn't do that. But it just looks really nice and feng shui in here. Even your light fixture right here looks pretty sweet. It's got like this rope around it. I don't know. It looks good. Very modern. So that'll be your dinette area. Down below, you do have storage on both sides. Very good storage. These are going to be 23.5 by 41 and 15 inches tall. So it goes all the way to the back of that dinette. Man, the amount of sticky notes I go through is crazy. I've had clumps of sticky notes in my back pocket when I get home because I forget. And then my girlfriend does laundry. It drives her nuts once she puts it in the dryer. But I figure it helps. Let me know if you like that. So that'll be your dinette area with your slide out. Nice sitting arrangement throughout this entire trailer because of that Murphy bed. My gimbal is trying to do whatever it wants today. Over here we do have the kitchen. Pretty decent sized kitchen. You can't expect to have a crazy long counter space because of the bunks and because of the length. It keeps the weight down and allows you to get kind of a more compact trailer. But you do have, I like this. I do like this. So as you can see, You got this nice seamless cutting board. So you can use all of this as counter space, including on top of the stove top. So this is all prep space when you're not using the stove. You got 24 by 47 right here if you wanted to use that all as prep space. And if you want to pull this off, you got your big farm style sink. Put that right there. Everything has a place for it. Oh, I didn't measure this one. Dang it. This is the first time I forgot to measure the sink. It's 6 inches deep and I can't remember the length. But it is a good size. You can. The reason I like this is because sometimes they put such a small sink in these bunkhouses, you can't clean your pots and pans. They don't fit in the sink. And you got to imagine if you have, you know, 6 mouths to feed, 4 mouths to feed, that's a lot of cleanup that you're going to have to do. So it is a good size sink that they're putting in these bunkhouses. It does have this nice gold faucet, and you have 2 options. It'll spray down this way, kind of like a waterfall, or you could turn it this way, bring it down, really spray those dishes off and your pots and pans. Once you have that placed over there, over here to the right, you do have your stove top. Like I said, it serves as prep space, but when you're ready to use it, flip this back. Then you got your backsplash for grease. And right here you got 8 inches. It's not like a crazy amount, but you do have a little bit of counter space as you're cooking. You got your fancy dancy lights. Just got the igniter. And then when you're ready, just flip this back over, throw that sink cover back on there, and then you got all that prep space. I personally wouldn't use the cutting board because I like it. It looks nice and clean. And then you also use it as prep space. If you need a little more space over here, you can lift this little extension up. This is going to be 15 by 16. So if you need to put some dishes here to dry or anything like that, that'll be 15 by 16. So I do like when they give you that extension. You do have a window in this kitchen area that will open, you know, to let some fresh air in. And you also have the light fan combo. So it will suck the air out. So it's not just circulating it. And then up above, you do have some storage, maybe for your bowls, plates, pots, and pans. And I like that they open upwards. These are going to be, this area right here, pretty decent size, is going to be 13 by 37 and 15 inches tall. Put these down. Love the little details of the glass inlay, your gold handles right here, as well as there is no hinge. You got hidden hinges up top. Just looks nice and sleek. Down below, you do have 2 drawers, which is good. Sometimes they don't even give you drawers. But you got one little one here that's going to be 9.5 by 14, and I did not measure the depth. God dang it. Down below, you have another drawer. You have 14 by 16.5. So pretty decent size drawers there for all your utensils. And if you notice, you got the road vac. Bam! Whoa, go off. And it's got some suction to it. All you have to do is you got these attachments right here so you can put your hoses on there and then clean up. You know, it's nice that it's right by the doorway, so you have kids coming in and out. You could constantly keep this area nice and clean, or when you're ready to clean up after your camping trip. But you know that dust that you just cannot get up? It's just that last little bit of dust. Well, guess what? Boom! And that will suction and take the rest of that dust in. You do have your microwave down below, but get this. You see that? It's got an air fryer, baby. So it doesn't have an oven, but I'm really happy that they gave you 3 options. You got the convection, you got the air fryer, and you got your standard microwave. Full combo. So that will come in handy. And then you have like a little spice rack down here. Overall, I'm not mad at the kitchen. Like I said, you can't expect a crazy long countertop in this size. When this slide out is out from this countertop to that table, you're looking at 4 feet 5 inches. So that's how much room you got in this area. It's about 53 inches. So 4 feet 5 inches of walk room right here. So if someone's cooking and one of the kids needs to go to the bathroom, they will easily be able to get by without disturbing anybody. And then over here, you got your 10 cubic foot, 12 volt refrigerator. And I always say it, I love these 12 volt fridges. They cool so much faster. and they are a lot more efficient and deeper because you don't have those metal coils that you usually have in the back. So versus the gas electric, you tend to have it on the night before you go on your camping trip. This thing will be ready to go once you go down the road and get to where you need to go. Nice deep freezer right there. One thing I think they changed on these, which I'm happy about, is they actually started ducting the air conditioner. So it's all ducted, and people that tell you that it doesn't make a difference in sound, it really does. Watch. Let me open this and you'll hear it. So definitely a lot louder. And close that up, and then it'll distribute the air throughout the trailer. You even have some by the bunk, so it'll stay nice and cold. Like I said, this thing gets cold. Look at the temperature in here already. And I just plugged this in. So nice big air conditioner. If we're talking about your interior height, from the floor to the roof, your interior height is going to be 6 feet 6 inches or 78 inches of headroom in this trailer. Not bad. Not bad for this size of unit. It is a little narrower too than your standard 8-foot wide box, which is nice because when you're going down the road and towing it, you could see around it with your mirrors a little easier. But moving on, we got your 27-inch smart TV, so it's got all the apps ready to go, and it will extend, and you could kind of tilt it to wherever you want. It's actually in a pretty decent location, so from the couch you could see it. Really, the only people it's going to be at their back is right here, but pretty good placement of that smart TV. It's got Netflix, YouTube, all that good stuff, so you can watch Tyler Talks Travel Trailers. Moving on to the back, you got the bunks. These are the nice big double bunks. A lot of little details here that I love that Surveyor does that a lot of companies skimp out on. For one, they both have windows, which might not seem like a big deal, but imagine how much companies save when they only give you one window. So it doesn't feel super claustrophobic in here. You also have privacy shades, which some companies don't do. And then you do get a nice metal sturdy ladder, which also some companies don't do. Think about how much these companies are saving by not giving you privacy shades, the extra window, and the ladder. Over the course of selling thousands of trailers, I'm sure they're saving a lot, but Surveyor gives that to you. How cool is that? Your bunks are going to be 44 by 74, so you got about 6 feet 2 inches of length right here. So you can definitely sleep 2 children, definitely sleep 1 adult. 2 is close, but I think it could be done. And then you do have your light up here, as well as USB and USB-C plugs that you can charge your laptop, tablets, phones, things like that for the kids. And like I said, you have 2 ducts coming to here, which is going to be super helpful because you know hot air rises, so they'll have 2 vents right there to blow right on top of this bunk. And that window and the bottom one will open as well, so if you don't want to run the AC, you just need to get some fresh air in, they will open. I did measure the height in these bunks because I know they can get a little close. Feel like you're in a coffin or something. So you got 25 inches of headroom, so from the bunk to the roof, you got 25 inches. Down below, you will have 26 inches, so just a little more height in this bottom bunk, but basically the same. And on this one, you do have your USB and USB-C plug as well. Again, storage is really nice in bunkhouses. I get a lot of couples that, they just have a lot of outdoor activities that they like to do. So even if you're not bringing people all the time, sometimes bunks is great for storage. So look at down here. See all that? It goes all the way back. You could put chairs, fishing poles. It could be a doghouse for a small dog. You could, though. You could put like a pad back there, and then this is kind of like the little doghouse. But this little area is 22 by 74 and 17 inches tall. That's the amount of storage you get right there underneath that bunk. You do have your gas furnace right there underneath the fridge. Moving on to the bathroom. I'm actually kind of impressed with this bathroom. You got decent amount of room considering they're the big double bunks. You usually lose a lot of space when you get those double bunks. So the first thing I always tell people to do is sit on that commode, make sure that it is comfy. It's like one of the small little things that people don't really pay attention to, and then when they go out to use it, they're like, dang, this is not comfortable. So, you got yourself a little squatty potty. Just kidding. But from the toilet to the wall, you got 16 inches of knee room right here. So I would say that's pretty good. And turn you around. got to show you what kind of room you're working with, you know, when you got to kind of reach over. I think most people are going to be comfortable. This isn't like a solid, like this enclosure is nice. It completely moves out of the way. So you have room on both sides, you know, if you're right or left-handed. But overall, not bad considering it has bunks. Over here, I did do measurements in the shower, so stick with me. Over here, you do have your storage underneath, easy access to your plumbing, not a crazy amount of storage, and then your sink. It's kind of hard. I didn't really know how to measure that circle. I went to public school. But this is going to be 8 by 11.5 and 6 inches deep. So definitely a deep sink to brush your teeth, wash your hands, do what you need to do. And then they did get away with the medicine cabinet, but I do like this mirror. This is fancy. Look at that. It's got the light that goes around. So in place of your medicine cabinet, they gave you these floating shelves. They're like a metal, heavy-duty metal. You got a place to hang your toothbrushes, maybe a towel, a hand towel. Pretty nice. I think it looks good. Over here to the right, I will discuss that after the shower. We got some good stuff over there, but you do have your plug if you need to, you know, use your hairdryer, straightener, things like that right there. In the shower, pretty good size. Shower pan is going to be, let me tell you real quick. Your shower pan is going to be 22 by 38, so decent amount of room. And then I will stand in here just to give you a reference. Sometimes my camera follows me, so if you see me putting my hand up like weird, it's because I'm signaling it to stop moving. But I am 5'7", pretty good. And then usually I like to show you the faucet, but there's antifreeze in it, the shower head. But it's at a good height. Turn you around a little bit. The skylight definitely helps with this headroom in here. But I'll get out and tell you the exact measurement that we are working with. Try not to make you sick. So from the shower pan to the skylight, you're looking at 6 feet 4 inches or 76 inches. 6 feet 4 inches from the pan to the skylight. So I always say it, if you're 6'5", you're going to be in the space dome looking out while you shower. And like I said, the shower enclosure is pretty nice. It seams up really well. As you can see, there's no gaps in this at all. And then when you slide this, locks into place. Look at that. There's absolutely no way for water to get out. So then you get out and slip and break your neck. And if you notice, this is actually behind this little lip. So there is really no way for water to get out. And the main thing I like it is because the entire shower is out of the way versus a shower curtain that's flapping around. It just kind of pushes out of the way seamlessly, nice and sleek. So that's your shower area. You do have your hooks for your towels, and then you got the big fart fan, baby. Look at that, 4 speeds. Look how big that blade is. A lot of people miss this, but usually the blades are like real tiny. This thing has 4 speeds on it, so it will pull out some air. Looks like it does not have the rain cover, but that is a very easy thing we can add from the dealership. 4 speeds right there, so it's going to help a lot with that condensation. Maybe the smell. But not bad. Pretty good bathroom over here. Trying to turn slow without making you sick. Down here is Surveyor and Nobo is kind of different. They kind of split their control panel up into 2 sections. So this is going to be one of the portions. You got your water heater, water pump. All you do is flip a switch. It'll do its thing. You got your readings right here. And it's got a tankless water heater. Take as long of a shower as you want. Great thing about that is, like, if you want, one thing I like about this one is, I always mention it, my girlfriend likes lava for water. I don't. So you can actually have your settings to what you like, and you just kind of pick what you want and take that nice hot shower as long as you want. This feature right here is huge. If you're someone that likes to camp in cold weather, there's 2 ways that you can do it. Well, there's 3, but I count these 2 the most. So you got a heated and enclosed underbelly, or you got tank heaters, or there's a duct going underneath and heating it. These are 12-volt heat pads. So all you do is flip the switch, and then there's heat pads on the tanks that will keep your tanks from freezing. I like these a lot because you can't really go down the road with your heater on. Let's say you have your tanks all filled up and you're driving through Colorado and it is freezing temps, and what are you going to do? That would suck to get to your campsite and then your tanks be frozen rock solid. So with these, you can actually have these going on down the road. So this is a very great feature if you like to camp in cold weather. And then another big thing I like about them is if you're out fishing or hiking or anything, do you really want to have to keep your heater running the whole time you're gone? I wouldn't. So it really helps with saving propane as well, versus like just using the heater. So those will come in handy. We'll talk about solar as well, so don't be worried about that draining your battery. We'll talk about solar when we go outside. But I did forget to show you the storage up above on this bed, above this bed right here. So this goes all the way across, wall to wall storage for all the clothes, blankets, things like that. That area is gonna be 20 by 86 and 12 inches tall all the way across. 12 inches tall, kind of, because it kind of curves, as you can see, from here down. So that varies a little bit. I like the beveled edge too. You'll notice some cabinetry is just flat. It just looks flat. So this is nice. It looks good. Overall, what do you guys think? Very nice layout. I like this layout. You know, if like a Flagstaff E-Pro or a Rockwood Geo-Pro is just a little too small, this is perfect because of how light they are. 4,100 pounds for a 23-foot trailer. That is really good. And we will talk about why that is, and it involves the construction. But you do have indoor, outdoor speakers as well. So indoor and out, so you can pick the zones. All of that is going to be over here in the corner. So you got your slide out awning lights, interior lights, and you got your 30 amp charge control, solar controller for the solar panels, and then your indoor outdoor speakers that are Bluetooth, as well as like your little hook hangers right here. But notice this, look at this. So you turn them off, they all go off. You turn them on, they're all on. How annoying would it be if you're just kind of kicking back, winding down at the end of the night, and you turn your lights on, you have to have them all on. Well, Surveyor gives you the opportunity to turn them off individually. So if you kind of want to dim the mood in here, you can, which also, like, even with your ducting, you can turn these and close them, which some companies, they just have to stay open and going in the direction that they already are. So a lot of great little details. I'm giving you these tips because this is what I hear from customers after they've owned a few, and they don't really notice it until they're out using it. So I like to bring these questions and answers out to you just so when you're looking, you know what to keep an eye out for. So we will go outside. This does have the screen door, so if you want to let some fresh air in. I do like to pause right here. So there is 3 trailers lineup, Surveyors in this lineup. So you got the Camp Series, you got the Legend, and the Grand Surveyor. The Camp Series is going to have the same good quality of construction, but a little less features. Like if you don't need tank heaters or anything like that, that's when those trailers are really affordable, but you still get the good quality construction. So we will be right here in the Legend. Like I said, this does have solar, so you got 200 watts of solar and a 30 amp solar controller with an inverter prep. And then, like I said, enclosed, heated underbelly with forced heat as well. So you got forced heat and you got the tank heaters, so you got both options. This thing can definitely handle some cold weather. If you notice, it's got the fancy glass door, but they trick you. You can't see out of it. It's just purely aesthetic, but you can see out of the window right there. Moving on to the front. You got electric tongue jack right here. It's got your docking lights and your 20-pound propane tank. You got a battery disconnect, so when you're ready to store this, you can actually shut your batteries off without having to undo them every single time. The new emblem is nice. That thing lights up. It's hard to tell with the sun and the daytime, but look at that window. It looks a lot bigger. That rounded front. Moving on to the storage, you do have storage right here, but it is not pass through, but they do make up for it. So stick with me. You got the magnets, the luggage latches or slam latches, and pretty good storage. So we're going to talk about construction in just a second. Stick with me. So this storage area is 20 by 58 and 20 inches tall. 20 by 58 and 20 inches tall. And then obviously this doorway is a little bit shorter. So I measured what you can actually put in here to this little part right here. You're looking at 15 by 15. That is the doorway that you got right there. But one thing I really want to point out is, you see that aluminum framing up there? That's a huge construction aspect of this trailer that I love. So this is a 6-side aluminum frame trailer, meaning the front wall, the back wall, both side walls, the roof, and the floor are all aluminum. That's really going to help with that weight. Just constructed extremely well. So that's where you're getting that light weight from. But make sure you ask when you're out at dealerships, ask the sales guys, it's 6-side aluminum frame, because they'll stick a sticker on the, these companies will put a sticker on the side of the wall and it'll say aluminum framing. And if it's not 6-sided, it is mixed with wood. So just know what you're paying for, because it is a big purchase. But not bad storage. The only thing it's lacking is the other door, but they make up for it as we move on, and I'll show you. You got the solid steps. Those are really great because they come all the way to the ground. They don't sag on you, and they just fold right into the doorway, and you can actually adjust each leg. So if you're on uneven surface, I like those steps. And what I love about Surveyor, you know, Flagstaff got rid of the griddle. Surveyor continued to give it to you, and they even have this better railing right here that it actually hooks onto. It's got the cool Forest River logo on it. Nice heavy duty metal, but I like the way they just kind of go in. It just seems a lot more sturdy than the older version. But that's what the griddle looks like right there. It's like a flat top. And then you do have this hose right here, your coil hose. And it's got hot and cold water. So if you need to shower off, clean the dog, you can do that. It will have hot and cold water. Moving on down to here, a couple nice options right here. It does have a Goodyear Endurance tire, so you get a good quality tire right off the lot. And then also, it does have the tire monitoring system. So this will keep track of the tire temperature if it's getting low. It really helps prevent, you know, the last thing you want to do is get a blowout. That could be catastrophic. So this is a really nice feature. You'll put this monitor in your tow vehicle. Nice big awning with your outdoor speakers and your LED lights. You can even tilt these awnings if you want. So you could bring it down if it's raining and have it kind of flow off, so that way it's not pooling on top of your awning. All your windows are tinted, which might not seem like a big deal, but when you go out there, look at some of these trailers, they're not giving you tinted windows. How annoying would it be to have to keep your blinds shut all the time because you need privacy? So nice dark tinted windows. Right here, you do have another storage area. So this is the section I told you that kind of makes up for that pass-through storage. Pretty decent. This storage area is going to be 20 by 52 and 17 inches tall. 20 by 52 and 17 inches tall. Your doorway is going to be 10 by 34. So that's kind of, the doorway is a little smaller, just to give you an idea of what you could fit in here, but you could just kind of angle it into there. You do have your cable satellites and your plugs out here if you want to bring the TV out. Your propane connection I didn't show you is right there, that little tag flapping. So it does tie into that front propane line, a propane tank. So when you're using that grill, your jacks are all going to be manual, but they give you a little socket so that way you can use a drill. I forgot to show you, it's up front, but they give you the socket, then you use the drill, and then they just come down just as fast as if they were electric. But there's your underbelly, all enclosed, buttoned up nicely. Moving on over here, it is prepped for the ladder. You got outdoor camera. It is a fully walk-on roof. Like I said, 6-side aluminum framing. The ladder is pretty nice. It like telescopes and it's super lightweight. So even though they're not giving you one, the one that you could buy is probably better because it kind of sits at an angle. So it's a little safer to go up and down. You got your 30 amp plug, Schwintek slide out, and your black tank flush when you're ready to clean out your black black tank. There's like jets in the tank that will clean it out. And then you got your tankless water heater and your potable water right here with your city water connection when you're at a campground. Talking about wall construction over here on this side, this is one of the bigger things that I would definitely want if I was getting a fiberglass trailer, is this right here, Azdel. That is just the brand, because Flagstaff uses a composite material also, but it's just not Azdel. So when you're out looking at trailers, just because it doesn't say Azdel, it could have a composite wall. So let's talk about what that is. So the way they make these walls is it'll go fiberglass, then it'll go either Luan or that composite material, then it'll go the rigid block foam, then your aluminum framing, and then your inner walls. Luan is just a thin sheet of wood that basically goes across the whole wall. And what happens when wood gets wet? Starts to get moldy, starts to deteriorate, and your walls literally start to separate. So they call that delamination. And you'll notice older trailers out there, they start to bubble and get all rounded. That's because water has literally gotten in the walls, and now the walls are separating. Azdel is that composite material, and it's impervious to water. So they literally put that in water for months and months and months until they are sick of looking at it, and it did not degrade, it did not change. So Surveyor, just like Nobo, they use that composite outer wall, which is really going to help the longevity of this trailer. Whew. Dang, that was a lot. So hope you enjoyed that tour. If I do every little detail, real quick, it does have a PVC roof as well, lifetime warranty. So that'll help, they'll be more reflective and no maintenance. So I try to put as much as I can in these videos, but it'll be like an hour and a half long, 2 hours. So definitely check out some of my other videos, kind of go through them, because I kind of pepper in different facts and stuff in these videos. If you're new to the channel, I'm located at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our phone number will be down below in the description. So if you call in, please just ask for Tyler, or if you put a lead in on our website, just say, hey, I want to talk to the Annoying Kid on YouTube, and they'll pass it on to me. The reason I say that is because we are on a rotating list. So if you don't ask for me, you could end up with another sales guy. And also, I am a salesman. I am not a YouTuber. I've had people come in and I see them and they're like, hey, you're the YouTube guy. And I'm like, dang it, I wanted to help you. So full-time salesperson, definitely come in, ask for me. Also, if you're not, hit that subscribe button, baby. So close to 6K in less than a year. I am just ecstatic. Leave some questions down below. Let me know where you're from. And we got plenty of tours coming. I just got another Flagstaff, so maybe we'll do a Flagstaff microlight tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys have a good evening, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.